rounds. One of those teams looking for a miracle was the Unicorns of Love as they faced off against Splice. It was slow to get started, but once Splice grabbed the lead off of a great mid lane collapse, they clinically closed out the Unicorns of Love for a dominant win that put them one step closer to playoffs. Next up was Roccat looking to break their 1-1 curse as they took on Schalke Nilfia. Schalke came out swinging in the early game and quickly snowballed their way to a 7k gold lead. But just when it looked like all hope was lost for Roccat, a beautiful 5-man shockwave
Roccat destroy Schalke's HP boss!
Shredded Schalke and brought the Cats right back into the game. However, it was amazing who got the last laugh with an Elder Dragon steal that devastated Rockat's comeback and stole a wild win for Schalke. After that, H2K and their substitute mid laner Larson were looking for their first win of the split against G2. It started as expected, with Perks exploiting his substitute opposition and helping amass G2 a 10k gold advantage. Even though they were way behind, H2K found a perfect fight that resulted in Baron and kickstarted their comeback hopes. But it was Perks' clutch Baron steal that put an end to a roller coaster of a game.
G2 Perks steals the Baron!
As G2 took the win and handed H2K their 13th straight loss, and locking them out of playoffs for good. If Giants wanted to keep their playoffs hopes alive, they needed to win their next 4 games in a row. And that started with getting through the league leaders Misfits. And they did.
Lacan just deleted!
Giants made all the plays from start to finish as they demolished Misfits for a collected win that made it clear they aren't going to give up their playoffs without a fight.
Giants destroy Misfits in their face, and the team in 9th place is going to take out our split leaders!
After going 2-0 last week, Vitality were all aboard the Kiki's hype train again as they faced off against a red-hot Fnatic in the Day 1 finale. Vitality channeled their spring split form early, taking control with aggressive plays that caught Fnatic off guard. And with the lead in their back pocket, Vitality's coordinated teamfighting and clean Baron control torched Fnatic, as Kiki's confidently led Vitality to their 3rd straight victory.
Still goes to Vitality, and now they just sweep away from that Fnatic.
After a day of close battles and wild upsets, the teams headed home to prep for their Day 2 matchups. Saturday's action got started with Giants Gaming looking to keep their miracle run alive against Roccat. After slowly building up a lead, Roccat threw it all away when Giants got back into the game by pulling a fast one in the 28th minute to snag a sneaky Baron. And even with Roccat taking a Baron of their own, they simply couldn't recapture their momentum as Giants chased them down to secure a huge 2-0 lead. After an arduous 13-game loss streak, H2K were formally locked out of both playoffs and their dream of making it to the World Championships. But H2K were still not ready to give up. They valiantly set their sights on an upset against Splice. It started rough for H2K, as most games this season had, but they held steady. They needed to focus on playing a controlled objective game. It all culminated in a Baron that caught Splice completely by surprise. And from there, H2K's resolve never wavered. Against all the odds, against all the critics and the naysayers, the haters and the flamers on Reddit, H2K did it. Their new look roster took down Splice and brought home their first victory of the split. After that, Vitality and the Unicorns of Love were back on deck to do battle. Speaking of battles, these two teams couldn't stop squaring off for fight after fight after fight as the Unicorns clawed their way back into the game. But it was Cabochard's clutch ultimate that trampled the Unicorns.
Vitality! Oh, blood in his eyes! He finds the opportunity, and it is Unicorns of Love who die!
And locked in Vitality's second straight 2-0 week. Then, it was the game we've all been waiting for as G2 Esports faced off against Fnatic in our ultra-hype match of the week. It was dead even until the 23rd minute, until Fnatic pulled the trigger on a wombo combo that instantly deleted G2 and handed them an uncontested Baron. And once they were in the lead, Fnatic's teamfighting steamrolled G2 to earn them a convincing statement win.
Oh! Instantly the team is just cut down! Rocks are coming in! Running everybody down! Fnatic playing with their food.
Our last match of Week 7 saw Schalke 04 taking aim at Misfits. Like the games before it, this matchup featured big fights and even bigger outplays as both teams battled for control.
Hansama gets cut down by an 80 carry. It's almost poetic.
But it was the Misfits' indecisiveness
That is disaster.
and a breakout performance from Upset that sealed the deal for Schalke and knocked Misfits down a peg on the table.
Double kill, triple kill, quadra kill for Upset.
And that's it for Week 7. The standings are shaking up, with teams starting their miracle runs. Giants have won 2 in a row.